Good morning, pupils. Back again to you. This is our second video, and we will see today together ancient civilizations. Of course, try to see the first one. Have a look at ethics in business, of course, for the late followers, or simply for those who didn't take time to revise the lessons or to have a look at or to understand ethics in business. They can have an idea about it. Let's start now, or let's get started with the ancient civilizations. Let's see the quote. Learning about ancient civilizations is also trying to understand the history of mankind. Learning, evidently, we learn when we read, we get information. And reading about ancient civilizations here guides us toward what? The text typology. What type of text? I'm asking myself a question. I'm a pupil and I'm asking myself a question. What type of text I will have in my back exam? Is it expository? Is it narrative? We will see the difference in the following video. See? Let's first. Now, back to the keywords. You notice that there are words that are underlined here in our quote. Learning, ancient civilizations, and standard history. Ancient civilizations here, we deal with ancient. The word ancient simply means, as a vocabulary extension, oldest, oldest, early, earliest, archaic. Archaic means very old, it means old-fashioned. When we deal with this, it means something, and we are dealing with the past. So, ancient here, something ancient is when we speak about past actions. When we speak about actions in ancient civilizations, we use the simple past and the past perfect. These two actions, they are linked with time conjunctions to show where is the first action, which is represented by the past perfect, and the second action, which is represented by the simple past on the line of time. Connectors, or words that make a link between these two actions, we have these words. We will see them in the following videos with more details, or you will have simply further details about time conjunctions and how to use them. Back to the quote now. Civilizations. Civilization is a word that comes from civis, the first syllable or syllable if you want. Civis, you see, and here civis means simply society. We move to society. So what is a society? Society is simply a highly organized community. Highly organized community where we find a big organization and where we find a government, leaders, and a community. Community here, it is represented by people like you and me, and we have an example of community. We say the Algerian community all over the world. Here we mean by Algerian community all over the world, all the Algerians who are living overseas, who are in France, in the USA, in Canada, in Tunisia, in Morocco, and so on and so forth. We may simply say it in Arabic, Algeria. Now, back to the quote and another keyword. See, we have understand. When you want to understand, we join reading, learning, and when we learn, we understand. And simply here, understand what? The history. You see, History, you study history and geography with your teacher. And here you notice that there is a link. We have multidisciplinary, you see, lessons, or there is a link between simply the different subjects that you study in your schools with your teachers. There is a link. History here, the word history in English, and simply when we study history, we study dates. You see, we study events, we study people's lives, and so on and so forth. And simply we ask questions, asking questions when, where, why, who, how long ago when it is a period, and when it is a precise period or precise year. When you ask questions, you will see this task. You will meet it in the back exam paper. You see, I need to make a review and revise with you the pattern. How shall I ask a question in English? Here, a WH question is simply the pattern, or the question is built as follows. WH question mark. We have when, where, why, who, how long ago. You see? Plus the auxiliary, plus the subject, plus stem. Sorry, here the M is missing. Stem is the verb in the infinitive form, and we have the rest of the sentence with the question mark. Sure. Now, back to civilizations now. Let's see together and let's revise and review, make a review, small review about the different civilizations that we have seen in class and maybe during tests, exams, exam papers. Ancient Egyptian civilization, it rose in Egypt, and here, since we are using, we said it before, we are speaking about past actions, so all the verbs will be in the past. Rose, started, began, originated. You see? Mesopotamian sieve or civilization, it rose here. We are dealing with in Mesopotamia, and the word Mesopotamia simply means between rivers. Between rivers. And since Mesopotamia is what we call today Iraq, we have these rivers are Tigris and Euphrates at Dejla wal Furat. We have Sumerian Sea that rose in Sumer, and it's the same. It is the same region. So we may say, archaeologists simply say that this region witnessed there were a lot of civilizations that rose in this region. Now, we have the Chinese Sieve civilization that rose in China, Roman Sieve in ancient Rome, Greek civilization in Greece, Athena al-Qadima, Aztec Sieve in Latin America, Indus Valley Sieve, South Asia. Here it's a region, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, or Afghanistan. Yeah. And we have Maya or Mayan Sieve in Central America, Chavin Sieve in Central America. But let me remind you something about the Mayan or Maya Sieve. Maya Sieve, I remember maybe you were younger in 2012, but archaeologists, when they read, they tried to decipher the Mayan calendar. They said that 2012, December 2012, will be simply the end of the world. But unfortunately, it wasn't the end of the world, and we are in 2020. We have Islamic Sieve. You see, Islamic Sieve, it's a great civilization, and it spread from east to west, and it was what? It was maybe it gave the foundations for the Western civilization of today. In class, we have seen together during the within our program, there were 26 to 27 civilizations all over the world. Now, you will simply ask me a question, Madam, we have seen different types of civilizations, but why they are important? They are important because they help us understand the history of mankind. How? We try to see how people used to live. What were they able to do? And their contributions, their system of life, their system of living, their way of living. Now we try to see what are the factors that help or guide or uh, that led these ancient civilizations to rise. As I said it before, still we are dealing with past actions and past action verbs. Here we say civilizations rose, started, originated, began. What are these factors? The emoji gives you what? Good vibes. Let's start. Now, we have natural and human resources. Of course, we need land, a piece of land where people settle, and water. Do you remember when I was talking about Mesopotamia? What did I say? Between rivers, water, and these are natural and human resources. Natural, we need a piece of land, water, and different other natural resources. You see, the human resources, they represent simply people who settle on a piece of land to create a city or civilization. The elite here, you see, sorry, there is an S, we should drop this S. The elite is represented by the leaders, you see, the leaders, the guiders, the men. It could be one or a group of people who guide this community, this group of people, you see, and to live in peace, to settle, lead a peaceful life, develop different aspects of life, and of course, be the best. So here we have another factors of rise that help any civilization to rise, develop, flourish. Here we have moral and religious values, principles. If these moral and religious values go back to the first video dealing with ethics and business, you will understand what are these moral and religious values or principles. These moral and religious values and principles, they guide us. It's our roadmap. It's a road map. It's a road map to anyone who wants really to succeed in life. Now, with these factors of rise, of course, when we settle, start to develop different aspects of life, we make achievements and realizations and contributions. Achievements here, it is to achieve something. To achieve something, it means to let it, to develop, sorry, to develop it, you see, to simply develop it. And here we have to develop. Let me give you examples. The Sumerians, they were able to create a writing system. They created what? Clay tablets on which they were the first to use the stylus. You know what is a stylus? It is simply what we call in French le stylo. This is the origin of the word stylus, you see? Now, contributions, of course, they may be in arts, they may be in what? In sciences, different sciences, in building, shaping, how to shape their lives, building or architecture, and so on and so forth. These are the contributions of these people, you see. They developed different um, fields of life. For the Egyptians, we may give them as an example, of course. The Egyptians, they were able to develop the irrigation system. These are only examples, and there are a lot. There are a lot of others because we have seen a lot of civilizations. Now, as any creature on earth, we go through the same steps. There is birth, There is rise, development, flourishment. So here, flourishment is to flourish. It is the best period of any body, the best period of any human being, the best period of any civilization. But of course, since we have, as in as we have factors of rise, we have factors of that lead to the collapse of these civilizations. So we have birth, we grow, we have a best period, we start having what? Start having health problems. Maybe we lose jobs, we will have no money, we may simply die. And here it's like a pyramid, and I call it the cycle of life. For ancient civilizations or civilizations in general, they go through the same steps. I will show you this pyramid in the following video. Now, back to the factors of collapse. Here, the decline of moral and religious values. Morals, values, religious values, moral and religious values and principles, they guide us to be the best. And they can lead anyone to be the worst. You see? So the decline here, it means that people, they start doing what? They forget about their values and they forget about what is legal and illegal. And here, their life will be simply messy, disorganized and messy. When there is disorganization and a messy life, here we obtain insecurity, absence of security. There is no more unity between people, and here problems start. Internal disputes and conflicts. الحروب الأهلية داخل الجالية أو داخل المجموعات. And of course, when there are internal problems, when there is no unity between the people, there is an external invasion. الغزو من الخارج. Here, our enemies are waiting for this. Whenever problems start within a community, the enemies, they invade. Now, climate change, with all its consequences like tsunami, earthquakes, flood, what else? We have earthquakes, flood, tsunami, all these changes, they lead to what? They lead to pandemics or illnesses, you see, or epidemics. You notice that, sorry, you notice that all these factors, now you know all these factors, but what I want you to say is that today we are suffering from COVID-19. It's a pandemic, you see, and it is all over the world. All the world is suffering from this, and we are really, it could really threaten our modern civilization. It could be one of the factors of collapse of our modern civilization. Now, I can tell you that we have finished explaining and mapping ancient civilizations. I hope you enjoyed this virtual trip with me. I hope that you grasped the different elements and you know now why the unit was the fabric of the unit, why the unit was organized that way. See you in the following videos and good luck, dear pupils.